It was a rainy Tuesday afternoon when Daniel parked his pickup truck outside the small-town grocery store. He was a single dad, rough around the edges but soft when it came to his 7-year-old son, Max, who sat in the backseat humming to his own rhythm. Life hadn't been easy since his wife passed 2 years ago. Grief came in waves, but he managed, one morning at a time, one sandwich at a time. He was returning to the car with a paper bag of groceries when he saw her. She couldn't have been more than 6 years old. Soaking wet, in mismatched clothes and bare feet, she stood under the awning of the store, arms hugging herself, shivering. Her eyes darted nervously, like a bird waiting to be chased. Daniel's first instinct was to look around for an adult, surely someone was nearby. But the street was quiet. She wasn't begging, wasn't asking for money, she was just standing. Then Max rolled down his window and called out, "Daddy, she looks sad." Daniel hesitated. Approaching a stranger's kid wasn't something you just did these days. But something about her, those eyes, stopped him cold. He knelt in front of her, careful not to seem threatening. "Hey there, you okay? You lost or waitin' for someone?" She looked up at him, her lips trembling. And then came the words that would change everything. "I don't have a mama," she said, voice barely above a whisper. "Can I stay just one day? Just one, please?" Daniel's heart stopped. She clutched a small cloth doll to her chest, one eye missing, the stitching nearly undone. Her lower lip quivered. She wasn't trying to manipulate. She wasn't dramatic. She was just desperate. I don't cause trouble," she added quickly, mistaking his silence for rejection. "Where's your dad?" he asked gently. She shook her head. "He never wanted me." The weight of that sentence slammed into Daniel like a truck. He looked back at Max, now wide-eyed, watching through the window. For a long moment, Daniel said nothing. Finally, he swallowed and offered his hand. "One day," he nodded. "Let's get you warm first." That night, the girl, Ava, sat at their kitchen table, devouring warm mac and cheese as though it were a feast. She spoke in fragments. Bits and pieces of her life spilled out: foster homes, shelters, running away, a woman who left and never came back. Her voice was matter of fact, too mature for her age, as though pain had trained her to skip childhood. Max gave her his favorite blanket to sleep on the couch. When Daniel tucked Max in later, his son whispered, "Can she stay forever?" Daniel forced a smile, but inside, he was conflicted. One day, that's all he had offered. But how do you unsee a child who doesn't belong anywhere? The next morning, Daniel drove Ava to the county social services office. His gut twisted the whole way there. The woman at the front desk smiled too cheerfully and asked Ava to sit in a waiting room full of other children who looked just as lost. Daniel filled out some basic forms and turned to leave, but then he heard it. A scream, sharp, small. Ava's voice. "I want that daddy, the one with the little boy. Please, I'll be good, I'll do dishes, I won't ask for toys, I just don't want to go back to nothing." The entire office turned toward the sound. Daniel froze mid-step. A lump grew in his throat. He turned back and saw Ava being gently pulled by a worker, tears running down her cheeks. And in that moment, Daniel remembered something he hadn't thought of in years: how Max had cried the same way after his wife died. "I don't want a new mommy," Max had said. "I just want someone who won't leave again." Daniel exhaled shakily. Then he walked back toward the desk. "What if," he started, voice thick. "What if she didn't have to go back to nothing?" The caseworker blinked. "Are you suggesting placement?" "I'm saying," Daniel ran a hand through his hair, unsure of the legal jargon. "I'm saying this girl needs someone. And maybe we need her too." The process wasn't easy. Weeks turned into months of interviews, home checks, paperwork. But Daniel didn't back down. And Ava, slowly, cautiously, began to smile again. She started school with Max, and insisted on packing his lunch with little notes scribbled in crayon. One night, while watching an old movie, Ava leaned her head on Daniel's shoulder and whispered, "You don't have to be my real dad. But you're my favorite one." He pulled her close and kissed the top of her head. "You're not going anywhere, sweetheart." Sometimes, kindness isn't planned. It sneaks up in the shape of a small voice asking for just one day. And sometimes, one day is all it takes to change every day after that. So the next time someone cries for help, and the world tells you to look away, listen.